Hello, just testing. Does this sound good? Good. That's what I can. I just take your time. Yeah. Yeah, all that. Having demand.
I didn't put the tape across, but do you think that's sufficient distance? Okay.
No problem. All right.
Hello.
Hello. Yep, Jacob Fall.
Yep. Hi. Basically, the leader will come out that direction, and he will come here. This we put down instead of stanchions that are cumbersome and annoying. We try to make our reporters stay this way. That way, if there's people can get behind if they need to. And we don't ever tell people that they can't walk through. Neither do the cops, but sometimes the Jeffries folks will stand on their side, and they will ask people if they can do a different direction. But that's on them, not on us. We try to get like a center-ish position. It used to be that we would
I know what
shoot
you
this
mean.
way, but this is better because we have more egress behind, and the reporters can actually hear what's being said because they can go surround.
Politics over people.
Camera. So these guys who are set up to do live shots will have to turn their cameras away. We don't tear them down.
Are you on the pool?
Yeah. So they don't have to tear them down. We used to do that long ago. We used to make them all break down, but we don't do that anymore. We let them stay up. They can't film it.
How you doing?
Put a cap on the camera.
We're here.
The pool camera goes out
This
to
is it.
RDA,
That's
so
right.
our fiber system.
Keeping us busy.
In this case, it's Cat GA12, which I called, and Charlie looked up and already saw it. So we're already, right now they're seeing us on all the networks, including seeing, like literally seeing me right now. But yeah, it shouldn't be more than like, it's usually like a 20-minute ordeal. And then it's over and everything gets stored back up in regular order. But the good part was that nobody had, ABC just finished with Jay, a hit, and nobody else has a hit till after. So it worked out pretty well. Sometimes we really have to make people move their stuff around when we do stuff here. So, let's just. But we do.
Okay, first pool email is out.
One camera. Yeah, one camera on. Yeah, everybody would want to cover it. And we get that. Well, see, it's the location. So in a situation like this, because the only people that are allowed to do this are leadership, so you're talking like Jeffries and the Democrat leadership with him, and the speaker and the politician. So there's not really going to be a lot of organizations that don't want to take that. We can't have cameras here, especially when this is a location for those cameras. So it's a 5-camera limit when we do like those live shots. Right now there's only 3 set up for live shots, but only 5 can maximum in here. And then we will say after 5 we can pull something here. But of course everybody's doing different things here. They're not, the thing is like everybody wants the same thing. So that's why we don't make them tear it down. And we just let one camera stand and do it for everybody. So it takes care of the keys of the world, the orders of the world, the Lindell televisions of the world, takes care of everybody, and it's not as messy as 25 cameras. Yeah, but it's the location. We try not to mandate rules unless they're necessary in things that we should necessary. So I hope that answered kind of roundabout way of saying it. And then center stacks is like an area where we don't have to mandate a pool down there. So we can have multiple cameras down there and work it out. But obviously, this is a major thoroughfare. Where center stacks is not.
Just want to try not to do them here. However,
Yes.
the leader wants to do something here.
That's why I said it's the leader or the speaker box that can have stuff here. Nobody else. Not much.
All right.
Yeah. And then the one thing that I did when I got down here is you try to talk to everybody and found out like, oh, no one live shots are not coming up.
What's the next week?
other than AC.
Next week they're on recess.
But some conferences.
The 70s.
They were supposed to be. I guess
No, it's
they
first come, first serve.
So when they show up super early in the morning,
planning on
they're not right here.
I guess that's
So not even morning.
as far as I know.
Well, they're like, first come, first serve.
You think perhaps they might need to figure out how to end this incoming shutdown?
Some of them wouldn't need to.
That's right. But they can
Probably
be
why.
so they can be weekends only time.
No, but it's just
Shutting
down.
This is only up until the house.
Size porches they got,
And then once that
right?
happens,
270,000 cars.
you guys come through.
Absolutely.
So like
Some parts of it.
and then the leader's office, the small camera next to CNN, is the executive station. It's okay. But for a while, this was really a Monday through Friday thing that we asked people to
Kind of, they were talking to me like,
so we asked,
there's some progress, but no one's.
All I hear
now it's
is
fine.
like they supposedly White House.
And there
And
were
we
some
do
code
days
outs
we
like,
have to tuck it in, so if you
a
look,
bunch of like people are shitting on the recording next to the conference. So kind of.
I'm guessing.
I think it seems like that would be yeah, no. So we canceled Codex, but we're still going on.
Yeah, so that's why I think as of next week they will not be here. They'll just be ready.
It's actually the house up. The December is actually still scheduled trips.
I think that's why there's a lot of news. But a few people, the ACSR TV they should be able to set up.
Pulling season. I would imagine she can afford it.
I don't worry about the police. I don't know anything about it.
But it was really first.
I know she raises a lot of money. I don't know what she can do.
There's like a precedent that was set a few years ago on
not for
the
the-
side where if there's
not
a shutdown, they don't send us bills anywhere. But during Senate doesn't set that same precedent. So they were like,
My friend
Anywhere.
okay, yeah.
What time should we go? Yeah, because this is going to 45.
It's 2:45. It's only 2 changes. I came early just
May not happen.
it was originally.
I think it originally was.
Yeah. Unlike last time, DOT is like
It's
terminal
larger,
affected,
it's
so
gross.
It might not be as large.
air traffic controllers aren't affected, things like that.
I've not seen as many people in the office.
Comes to
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll just come up here specifically for this.
usually there's
Give
like
them something to do
stuff
this
that's
afternoon.
sort of
Yeah.
a little bit less.
You know,
Right.
Good, how are you?
folks are
Well, huge. Doing now relatively smaller.
Oh yeah.
wow. I mean, this is like a win.
We're like, it's partial, it's like
TSA, right, 270,000 employees, TSA.
But actually, 90% of them aren't going to be working according to.
Oh, of course, yeah, well, it's TSA.
Until later.
yeah.
So
Yes, we
you've
got
got
it.
some savings.
Listen, we get it.
Hey, we all went through this for 43 days, including TSA, but nevertheless, not a satisfactory kind of response. So we'll see.
Fortunate that it's not me.
Yes.
We don't have to hear it.
I know that the room number.
No. I would love one. I have big plans to do things like grocery shop, clean my apartment, work it out,
Yeah.
and still like have time for everything. Less. Right. So seems like you got watching the men's figure skating. It's like named to us. They don't use the American.
Actually, I've been fascinated by curling. Is it the same tier as the Great British Big Bang?
Yeah, it's just like calm.
Yes.
It's just calm.
It's like, yes, democracy is important for these kids.
How could it just roll?
And actually, sleeping is my favorite part.
It's great. You just
I'm not sure I would want to live in the list for curling as a practical sport,
no.
but I do enjoy the idea.
I always feel like I find the weirdest sport that I attach to during the Olympics. During the summer, my friends and I started watching the water rafting slalom. So you're in the canoe. It's canoe
What
slalom,
fun,
right?
huh?
It's like one person canoe, and you grab like flags in sections. You have to go around like if you're skiing to the sea. But you're upside down whitewater rafting. My friends and I got super into it, and then later that summer, a bunch of people are really good
Yeah,
at
it's
it.
fine. No worries.
Europe. And that summer, a few of my friends and I went to Prague, and we just like sat down to have a beer on like this area overlooking the river, and we looked down at the river, and there's a whole ski slalom set up for people who are like set up. And I was like, wow, I'm seeing it in real life. I feel like I'm shocked it exists.
Did it They probably want to do it.
Yes. It'll be great. Early, actually.
Yes, exactly.
It's actually time to get started.
What's that? Oh, I can guess. Yeah. How's that going?
He introduced himself to her.
I produced it. Oh, he was the farmer.
Like our producer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like after that. He was like, well, they were considering just doing one shop at Eddie's Patrol.
Not to be mean spirited, but one comment that I received was, "You're coming back here." Yeah, yeah. Are they doing sixes or are they doing I would imagine they're not using cinema cameras. That whoops.
Yeah. I don't know where that is. I just know it's supposed to, they were thinking of doing it yesterday. I got moved to today. And they got pushed back today because of how Jeffries got killed. That's why this is also really
When I used to be an editor in New York, so there's somebody was
Usually, like, Hakeem or myself, sometimes he did it.
I thought it was it rhyme with Flynn Flamiola?
Tell both of them.
It brought the house down.
yeah. That's all right.
Flim Flambriola.
Also, guys, I'm happy to switch with y'all's correspondence so I can be closer to my camera and they can be closer to, and you can get better shots.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good. Mic test 1 2 1 2. Mic test 1 2. It is Friday. This is it. All right. Hopefully this is it. I'm hoping it's the goal, the dream. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Gonna have a great weekend. Nothing planned. No Valentine. Perfect.
I just gave this. There's nothing else.
Just as a reminder, guys, the yellow, we all have to be this way, the opposite side of the yellow. We have people walk, they need to.
He's gonna be like right here. I think. Okay.
Jeffries was actually everyone's favorite. Mike Johnson did not. I don't know if I want that. Maybe every color. Come on. Every color. Unless they mix up the location. I did get a lot of it. He gave a chance to get more because it was, you know, he was very available. It wasn't always just chasing along this axis. I'm guessing they might not do as many as one agency. Just the same. That was conflict. I didn't take it. I wasn't even there. Were you? You saw the pictures. What? There was that shot and then like whatever it was. That was a good one.
Mine is like really critical.
It has happened. Like, I forget what I got.
It's gonna be like
Nothing maybe of that level. Like when Feinstein told his money, but also coming back. I got some notes that broke that. Yeah. Like, there's something that
let me see. Get my good Oh, hold on. It's fine. Take it.
Too late. Too nice. Is there at a hearing circuit? Sometimes like if he's holding his note, like if she it's like he's holding I did it and I was like maybe I should just do it when I think I know. Then you never know what's the issue. Gee, I thought they'd send you a Munich.
We don't have the kind of pressure. We're not jet setting around the world, to Norway, to EU countries. You know what's funny though? I wasn't in Munich this morning. And I went. It's easy to say that when you don't have to cut the check. You can also go in the behind. You're 7 feet tall. It's just as fun as it sounds.
So the line on the floor. Thank you. No, I was. You were. Thank you.
That's hilarious. 2 years ago, somebody thought that was here because I remember I got a friend. There was a period where it was head. Yeah, and I was like, no.
How are you? Thank you.
Yeah. I had my dates wrong. I thought it was not until the 22nd, so that's good. Right.
Well, back in the day, it was very good.
Kind of likes it. Makes it a lot more.
Unless it was like completely unbelievable. Like,
It's already the most fun to
line,
do.
like controlled shit. Just did some one. She really hated this. So at what time is the Ferrari? Those days are fast.
You don't drive it in on a flatbed truck. Do it out.
They don't let us in. Just let us in, and we don't have to work in the highway. Yeah, she would do stuff like that.
Yeah, where is it?
So she was definitely better than either all photographers or because he's that's cool.
That's actually
He's up there, kind of not bad because it's close. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to walk a block in either direction.
Yeah.
School.
It takes you a half hour. You have to do all these. It takes you a half hour to get there. You're late.
Banff is a nice venue. And he's always ridiculous. And logistics are, when you get there, it's like logistics. He's just like, they also, so those are some specific restrictions for educators.
Oh, that's interesting. Makes sense.
I gave that guy a job. I think probably did it. we also have to spread the word presentation as well. So that, you have reasons to engage sometime.
That can be a thing. Oh, I was there for the last one 2 years ago.
Impossible crowd, no one's paying attention.
Yeah, he had a tough time. We had a colleague who shot my nails with
Heads up, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. It appears increasingly likely that at midnight tonight, DHS funding for the Coast Guard, for FEMA, and for TSA will lapse. Why? Because Donald Trump and Republicans have decided that they have zero interest in getting ICE under control. The American people know ICE is out of control and that they need to be reined in. And Democrats are working hard to do just that. We believe that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for everyday Americans, not brutalize or kill them, which is what we've seen in Minneapolis with the cold-blooded killing of Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy. In this country, immigration enforcement should be fair, it should be just, and it should be humane. That's not what's taking place right now in the United States of America, where law-abiding immigrant families are being violently targeted and American communities are being brutalized. Dramatic changes are needed at the Department of Homeland Security in terms of ICE and CBP. Absent that, Republicans have decided to shut down parts of the federal government once again. Questions?
Mr. Leader, the DHS is a massive agency. It's going to impact millions of people. Shouldn't Congress be working right now to solve that problem?
I'm here, ready, willing, and able to have a conversation with anyone, anytime, any place. That's always been the Democratic posture. Mike Johnson has once again sent House Republicans home. This is the same approach, failed approach, that Speaker Johnson and Republicans took during the 43-day Trump Republican shutdown in the fall. Strange to me that they would decide to take a similar approach. It didn't work out for them. It didn't work for the American people. And during that 43-day government shutdown, we made one consistent demand: extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. And at the end of it, when it was all said and done, one thing happened in the House of Representatives. We passed a 3-year extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. The failed strategy of Republicans, it didn't work out then, it's not going to work out now. And we've drawn a hard line in the sand on behalf of the American people, and we're not going to allow the Congress to cross it. ICE needs to be dramatically reformed. Period. Full stop.
Mr. Leader.
Thanks. It's our expectation that we will respond to the unserious offer that Republicans have made that clearly omits things that need to happen, including but not limited to our demand that the Fourth Amendment be respected, that judicial warrants be required before ICE agents can violently storm private property or the homes of the American people. That's completely and totally unacceptable. And yet Republicans refuse to adopt that position. It's completely and totally unacceptable that Republicans don't want to see an independent investigation of ICE agents who broke the law. Our view is that state and local authorities should have the ability to investigate criminally and prosecute criminally any agent who breaks the law and engages in violence against the American people or law-abiding immigrant families. This is America. No one is above the law. And we do not trust the Department of Justice. Y'all saw the embarrassing display by the so-called Attorney General the other day here on Capitol Hill. Who would trust her, or who would trust the weaponized Department of Justice to actually independently investigate wrongdoing by Trump administration officials or by ICE agents? That's a reasonable demand. It's also a hard line in the sand. We also believe that the money that has been used to hire untrained agents who are masked, hiding their identities, brutalizing the American people is an unacceptable use of taxpayer dollars. And we need to actually make sure that the money that's being spent by the Trump administration is being used to actually improve the quality of life of the American people. And so there are a variety of different areas that clearly the administration has fallen short of doing things that make things better for the American people. Until that happens, fortunately, it appears that Donald Trump and the Republicans have decided to shut down other parts of the Department of Homeland Security.
Mr. Leader, so
Yeah.
then just to be clear, can you just walk us through next steps? So are Democrats going to present another offer to the White House? Are you expecting another counter offer back? Or at this point, do you want a direct meeting with the president to try to close the deal?
We haven't called for a direct meeting at this point, but again, we're ready to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place, if they are serious about the types of dramatic reforms that are necessary to get ICE under control. The American people know ICE is out of control. They need to be reined in. They're brutalizing everyday Americans and law-abiding immigrant families. They're not targeting violent felons who are here illegally. The president made that promise. He lied to the American people. So it's my expectation that at some point, Democrats in the House and the Senate jointly will respond to the latest unserious offer formally, and then it will once again be in the hands of Donald Trump and Republicans to decide what's next.
Thank you, Leader Jeffries. There are going to be workers at TSA, FEMA, Coast Guard who are looking at this and saying, I got nothing to do with ICE, but I'm not getting paid right now. What do you want them to know right now?
Well, it's our view. We're going to continue to stand up for TSA officers and agents. We're going to stand up for FEMA. We're going to stand up for the Coast Guard. I think Rosa DeLauro has introduced legislation to ensure that other parts of the DHS agencies that have nothing to do with ICE or CBP are funded. Republicans have rejected that. They've decided they want to inflict pain on the American people. We know this is the case because that's the approach that Republicans took in the fall. It didn't work out for them, and now they want to repeat the same failed playbook. In the fall, they were trying to inflict pain, literally steal food from the mouths of hungry children by failing to pay SNAP benefits. That was the Republican strategy. It was the Republican strategy to try to constrain flights all across America. Again, in the fall, they were doing this because they didn't want to make health care affordable for tens of millions of people. This is extraordinary stuff. And now they don't want to get ICE under control. They don't want to make sure that taxpayer dollars aren't being abused to violently brutalize American citizens and in some cases kill them. So we're going to continue to hold the line on behalf of the American people. And it's on Republicans. If the Coast Guard shuts down, if FEMA is shut down, and if TSA is shut down. Thanks.
If DHS is shut down on February 24th, do you think that Trump should postpone his State of the Union?
That's an open question. We'll have more to say about that next week.
When it comes to inline communication between you and the White House, 2 weeks ago, part of your argument for why you didn't support what came up for the Senate was that Trump never engaged with you. Has that line of communication, even if not with Trump directly, improved at all?
Well, there's communication staff to staff between the White House and House Democrats, and we've reiterated again to both House Republicans and to the Trump administration No one speaks for House Democrats but House Democrats. And if we're going to arrive at an agreement here, obviously it's important for everyone to be at the table. That's 5 corners. That's the White House, that's the House Democrats, that's the Senate Democrats, that's House and Senate Republicans. If we're going to do the types of things that are necessary to get ICE under control.
Could you just go back to what you said at the top about the judicial warrants? That seems to be just a real hard line on both sides. And I just want to back up and say it did sound like there was a little bit of movement yesterday from Leader Thune on masks, where he suggested the idea of, some with the doxing issue. It seemed like perhaps he had said, there might be a landing place, so maybe marrying some. I don't know exactly, but can you just go back to the issue of the warrants, and is there any kind of landing place?
Seems to me, based on the silence of House and Senate Republicans today, literally hours away from a partial government shutdown, that the extremists here in Congress know that they have a weak hand. Their position is very weak, and they can't defend the type of violent, out of control brutality that the American people have seen being inflicted on them by ICE, taxpayer dollars being used to brutalize them. So our view related to masks and a whole host of other things that we laid out comprehensively in our 10-point list of demands. These are the type of things that need to happen in order to rein ICE and CBP in. And we'll respond to the latest that was sent over by the White House. Again, it falls short. And by the way, the notion that Tom Homan or any of these other folks can just say things and expect that all is good as a result of it, no, we're not down with any of that. Every single change needs to be ironclad and part of the law.
And can you say, will your counter-proposal, Democrats' counter-proposal, go back today?
House and Senate Democrats are working feverishly together, both at the leadership level and at the appropriations level. Thanks.
You mentioned funding for the Coast Guard and TSA, but what do you say to those Americans who question the point of the shutdown if ICE was given 7 times their budget in the president's reconciliation bill and is going to continue operations?
The one big ugly bill is going to be an incredibly important part of the discussion that we're going to have with the American people over the next few days, next few weeks, or beyond, depending on what Republicans decide to do. The notion, and we want the American people to understand this, that your taxpayer dollars in the one big ugly bill were used to provide massive tax breaks for Republican billionaire donors and to give DHS a $191 billion slush fund, which includes $75 billion to ICE, being used to brutalize you. Republicans did that in their one big ugly bill. And they also enacted the largest cut to Medicaid at the same time in American history, ripped health care away from 14 million Americans in that very same bill, the one big ugly bill. And by the way, they also enacted the largest cut to SNAP in American history, $186 billion in that one big ugly bill. And so we're going to put that toxic legislation at the center of this discussion. And you're absolutely correct. Part of the reason we're in this situation right now is because of what Republicans did on a partisan basis in creating a slush fund used to violently brutalize the American people, unleashing untrained, masked ICE agents in American communities all across the country. Unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. Now, the reason why we have to have this confrontation on behalf of the American people is because in a spending bill, we have the ability to legislate dramatic change. That's what we're doing. And the reason why we're confronting the possibility of a shutdown in a few hours is because Republicans are unwilling to enact change that is dramatic. We believe any changes should be bold, should be meaningful, should be dramatic, should be transformational, should get ICE completely and totally under control.
If this extends into a week from now, when the House and the Senate are back, do you think that Representative DeLauro's bill has a chance of making it to the floor to fund these other agencies, departments under DHS, separate perhaps ICE?
It's definitively my view, I believe it's the view of the House Democratic Caucus, that the Trump administration and Republicans should not hold the TSA hostage, should not hold FEMA hostage, and should not hold the Coast Guard hostage. And so Mike Johnson should call the Congress back again. I mean, are we going to be on a similar trajectory where literally during the 43-day Trump Republican shutdown, House Republicans were on a 7-week taxpayer-funded vacation? I'm here. Where are they? Again, we're ready, we're willing, we're able to sit down to solve this problem, but it's got to be decisive, it's got to be dramatic, it's got to be bold and transformational and meaningful. And the ball is in the Republican court right now. Thank you, everyone.
Good job.
This is what I have them for positive back. After everything I do, they have to go, good job.
She knows she's cheering for you, not for him.
Right, that's right. What did you say? Oh, yeah, please. Oh, thanks, bro. Why is it not working? Can't be sure. Can't be sure. I'll try it. Got it. All right, I think you're done for the day after this. Appreciate you.
You don't have anything else?
That's what we're going to do. No, I got to go back to the bureau, but no, we're good.